Okay, go.
Good evening, guys. We just week 6, entering week 7, and Ian, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. How you doing?
You know, it's hard to believe that we are a third of the way through this freaking season already. It is going quick. I asked you, or asked the league the other day, uh, what is more surprising, that the Colts are the number one seed a third of the way through the season, or that we're actually a third of the way through the season? And it's just wow, it's a shock. But anyways, Landon, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you
You,
doing?
you're welcome. I'm good.
Good.
So we're gonna go over some matchups that just happened. Not all of them, but just a couple of them. Pre-matchups that are coming up. Waivers. We're gonna go over a few players that we're gonna discuss. What players are out there and what players that maybe you guys have your eyes on, injuries that have occurred, and then standings. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, week 6 matchups, we had some key ones, and here we go. Ian, you didn't get a top 5. You took an 0-2 record on the week, okay? Did you enter the week thinking that you had an easy win, a tough matchup, thought you were probably going to lose? I saw you start Tyrone Tracy. What was your thought process on that?
Honestly, I forgot I had him in my starting lineup. I'm not gonna lie. But I honestly did tell Oscar that I did think this was gonna be an easy win. I
For you
told
or
him
him?
that for me,
Okay.
originally, I did tell Oscar before the week that I thought this was gonna be an easy win for me. Um, the biggest flops being my receivers. I mean, I understand the Tyrone Tracy one. That was my bad. I wasn't paying attention. Should have paid more attention. But I thought for sure my two receivers were going to see a butt ton of targets. It was a close game. If they were just there's no reason to use Sutton. There was no Garrett Wilson couldn't get the ball because Justin Fields couldn't throw the ball in. You know what? I have to take an L to Oscar, unfortunately, which is the most embarrassing thing I can do at this moment in time.
Now, do you realize I kept waiting for the Jets to hit 100 yards for the day, because your score would have really it would have been a lot worse for you. Because with the scoring for the defenses, if you hold someone to 0 points, it's 25 points. If you hold someone to under 100 yards, it's 25 points. But it drops off to like half of that once you get to 101 yards. They crept up to, I think it was like 98 yards, and then you got 2 sacks on Fields and a couple other things. And so be thankful that you kept them under 100 yards, because this loss would have looked like a Justin Fields game.
He's making you feel
They
better
ended
about
with
our loss.
negative 10 yards was what
That
the
is
Jets ended up with.
Well, negative 10
Net.
net passing yards. So
Yes,
say you
correct.
had,
They were 49 total offensive yards. Is
yeah,
what they
it was,
Golly.
9 sacks.
yeah. Um, Landon, your
Yo.
matchup.
Yup.
Let's talk about your matchup. What made you, because you had the win wrapped up, okay? You had it wrapped up before Monday night, I believe. What made you decide to go put a defense in?
I just didn't like the visual of seeing my team put up 332 points. I felt like 350 was going to be a little bit better to the eye, and little did I know I ended right on 350, and it looks much better than 332.
Okay. Um,
So
Jason was able to go 1-1. He was a top 5 scoring team.
He was number 2.
This week. Yes, he was number 2. So he was,
I was gonna say he had a good week.
Yeah.
yeah, he would have beat everybody else that in the league. But unfortunately, he faced Landon's team is averaging 279 points a week. It's just his team is. If he doesn't have any injuries,
No. Let's hear what you were gonna say. My team is what?
I was going to say, if your team doesn't have any injuries, you are going to. It's going to be 3 in a row for you.
Y'all see
Tell
that
you
right
what,
there?
though, you're one A-chan away from being in trouble.
Okay, but he's got Taylor.
I'd rather
That's what
A-Chain
I'm
get hurt
saying.
than Taylor.
But that's what I'm saying. If one of the big guys goes down, your backups are question. I mean, Kendra Miller maybe, but
Kendra Miller's the one I'm gonna drop first out of everyone on my bench.
but that's what I'm saying though is
But you just
I
claimed
can
that the person that I want to drop is my best one, so therefore,
your best backup running back.
Here's the thing.
Kenny Gainwell.
We're entering week 7. Week 15, 16, and 17 are playoffs. Okay? So we're halfway through the fantasy season. And so there's teams like Sean, who right now, and I respect the fact that he posted in our league chat today his 2 top players are not available. Because he could fold and just say, you know what, I'll trade him to whatever. I don't care. I'm out of it. But he does not want to take last place. Well, his one win. What was the point total difference? 0.2?
0.02.
So 0.02 from being 0 and 12 instead of 1 and 11. He needs to be more active on the waivers than he's been. I'm guessing he's probably got some personal things going on. I know he's traveling a lot for work. But if he wants to, he's got 3 people in front of him, or 2 people. He's got 2 4 and 6s, which are Nate and Jason. Then Mark is 5 and 7, who is the 7th seed in the playoffs right now. So Sean needs to get some things done. I thought he had me last night, there was a great chance of him beating me last night. Bijan, that 81-yard touchdown helped me because I still had 2 other people going after he was going to be done. So matchups that are coming up this week, okay, that I think, so you've got Dylan and I, Dylan and Mark are both 5 and 7, I should say. So you've got Mark playing Landon, who is going to be a tough out, but Mark has Rice coming back. We talked about it on the last video I think he's going to be I think he's going to get minimum of 8 targets, but I think 10 to 12. They're going to just pound him with targets. His first game back this weekend, because going against the Lions?
No, Vegas.
They just beat the Lions.
Vegas.
Who did they go against?
Vegas.
Vegas. Okay, so division game. They're always tough, but Mahomes, I think he feels he's being disrespected, and he is a top 5 quarterback right now. You talked about May on Landon's team, who is a top 5 quarterback also. It should be a better matchup than what I think the projection shows. Rob is facing Sean.
Real quick before we get there,
Yeah.
Mark's wide receiver, who he drafted first, A.J. Brown. I know you guys are going to know the answer because I'm asking, but if life didn't work that way, who would y'all think has more points, Malik Neighbors or A.J. Brown this season?
Malik Neighbors or A.J. Brown at this moment in time?
Yeah.
I would think Malik Neighbors. A.J. Brown hasn't seen anything worth the targets from my
I
understanding.
think he had one good game. Malik had that,
Massive.
what was
game.
it, a 60, 70-point game?
No, not in our league, just in general. Like not
Oh,
with
in
the
gen- well,
not
he's
with the
still-
bonus points.
I think Malik is still a top 10 receiver.
Malik
Yeah,
still
Malik
has
was-
more
Malik
points than
was-
A.J. Brown, and he tore
that's-
his ACL week 3.
Mhm. Malik was on his way to being an elite asset, which is the whole reason why I was making my feature on him.
Well, that wasn't Mark's first pick.
No, his first wide receiver.
AJ Brown.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant his first pick.
Barkley, who has also been underwhelming, was his first pick.
Correct. That whole offense has.
Facts.
But Barkley, coming into the season, there's been a handful of running backs who have had over, I think it was 500 touches or something like that, or 500 carries, and Barkley had just about 500 from the playoffs and the regular season.
Damn.
And he has dropped down to 3.3 yards per carry, or probably less than that now. But that has been the status quo on running backs that have had that type of carries, besides Murray. DeMarco Murray, yeah.
Wait, for that matter.
What was that?
Derrick Henry.
I don't know if he's ever hit that amount because he's not in the passing game, really.
That's true, but I mean, it's just the wear and tear on the body still.
Correct.
But
he's dropped off also. You know, there's been talk. Well, I'll go back to the other thing. Then you got Ian and Nate coming up. Okay, Nate needs to win, and him and Dylan made a decent sized trade today. I don't know if Dylan was aware that Puka was injured when he accepted this. But you know, it is what it is. You have to do your research. When you get an offer with a high quality player like that, you need to know what you're accepting. And Nate right now is projected by almost 30 points to beat Ian. Ian, are you? I see you have an open wide receiver spot. So that means you're probably trying to pick someone up on waivers. So do you think Nate will beat you?
I think there's a good chance. I have been, obviously, everyone is well aware. I've been working the trade market. I have some things in the works on waiver wire, obviously. But I do think there's a strong chance he beats me this week. I'm not going to lie.
I never heard that before.
Right now, the median is 193.3 for the week. And Ian, you're at 177.
Without a player in there.
Without a receiver. But I'm guessing it's going to be 15 points or so that it's going to add. So that puts you at 192. So right underneath the median. Just know that if you drop this, if I go 2-0 and you go 0-2, you fall behind me in the standings.
That is correct.
Not me though.
Oscar and Jason, 186 to 178. Jason is favored. Jason needs to win also. I think let's look at this matchup. So you've got Dart versus Flacco, but that's Denver versus Dart.
That Jackson Dart trade was phenomenal for both of us. It gave him.
You've gotten more out of it.
I mean, yeah, because he scored more points, but what's his face? Kenneth Murray? No, not Kenneth Murray.
Derrick Henry?
No, the Cardinals quarterback, Kenneth Murray.
Oh, Jacoby Brissett. No, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, yes. With Kyler, sorry, thank you. I don't know how I got Kenneth Murray, but with Kyler getting hurt, Jackson Dart is honestly a top 10 quarterback with his rushing ability, possibly top 7. And I feel like it helps both of us in a different way.
Well, here's the problem, and here's the devil's advocate against that. You got Denver, Philly, San Francisco, Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, New England.
Got a tough schedule coming up.
That's rough for any rookie quarterback with no receivers.
Yeah, I took that into accountability when I sent the trade.
But Landon, you compared Dart to Murray, right?
No, he has Kyler Murray who's injured.
Yes, he does, but you compared those two. Let's take it back before he got Kyler when he had Mahomes. He should have never made that move.
No, Mahomes has turned out to be an elite asset. Nate called a shot on that.
And Stroud, I probably would have kept Stroud over Dart. Just looking, but you have to look, and I think a lot of people, when they make trades, they look at the person, and then they look at the total points. What have they scored? What are they projected? I don't know if everybody actually looks at the schedules. Just like I don't think everybody stays as active on the waivers as they should. I'm adding a player, dropping a player before every game. And if someone hits, then you've got yourself, you beat the waiver wires. If they don't hit, you drop them because you've dropped someone else before them to get them. You need to stay active, and Jason has stayed active. I know we were starting with Oscar, but Jason has now. Bowers is not going to play this week. He's got him in his starting lineup. He needs Kittle to come back. There's a question mark there. So McLaurin, I don't think he might. There was a chance he could have came back last week, but if he comes back against Dallas, I think McLaurin can have a great game. Geno Smith, I honestly wouldn't roster. If someone wants to pick him up, fine, they can pick him up. But you've got Daniel Jones, and then you can just, I guess, kind of play the matchups with your other quarterback position to maximize the talent on your roster. Brown, I don't know how much longer Brown's going to have. I would pick up running backs with some upside due to the fact that, Chase Brown, he has not looked good at all. Even when there's teams that have been able to be run against, Chase Brown has not really done that versus those teams. He's had a little bit tougher schedule. Chris Olave is coming alive. Chase is coming alive. Warren, Swift looked good last night. So Jason, I think, I know he probably doesn't want to trade, but I think he's a big trade away from improving his roster. And, I'm not trying to talk smack. He has been active, and he's trying to stay active. Got to respect him for it. What was that?
I said I agree.
So, any matchups you guys want to mention anything on?
I think we kind of nailed the matchups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waivers, Ian and Landon. I'm going to stay out of this conversation. I want you guys to talk about two waiver guys that you guys have some interest in.
You want to go first or me?
You can go first.
You go one, and then Landon goes two, and then you go your last.
Well, sometimes it sucks doing this with you guys because I don't want to tell people everything. But, it is what it is. That being said, Keon Coleman is going to be one of my top targets. I'm going to pair him with Josh Allen, or I would like to anyways. Reason being is I also need a receiver. Now, I know he's not the most talented, but he's one of the guys that I think sees a lot of value or a lot of volume. And then on top of that, he's playing with one of the best quarterbacks. So that's just one of my players that I'm looking out for.
I want to ask a question, though.
Yes.
Do you feel you need to pick him up on waivers and waste a waiver claim because they don't play this week? And I think he's had one solid game, then he's kind of been whatever since. Do you really feel you need to waste a waiver claim on him?
Well, no. So it's funny because the way the waivers are working this week, because of when he was dropped, he's going to run after waivers on the 16th. So I'm actually getting an extra day. And as everyone's aware, I've been trying to trade Josh Allen. So this is an opportunity for me to advertise, hey, Josh Allen's available, and his number one target, Keon Coleman, is out on the waiver wire, who is out there playing football right after a bye week with an injury to the number one tight end and a smaller receiver who can get hurt at any point. So Keon Coleman, to me, is a prime opportunity to go pick up and pair with Josh Allen, which I'm hoping to do so.
Okay. Landon.
Honestly, my first one that would interest me is Jordan Whittington, wide receiver from LA, Rams, due to the fact that if Puka's injury is long term, Jordan was the one that stepped into his role last season. Yes, I know they still have Tutu and they added Devontae, so I don't think he's going to be as high talented as he was last year with all the targets that he was receiving. But with that being said, I do feel like Whittington will be a good fill-in piece for the next week or two.
Here's the thing. So they're on a bye think Rams are on a bye
I
week
think week
8,
8.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
So they're flying to London. I think they're
correct.
practicing 2 days at wherever the Orioles play, and then they're flying to London. They will know if Puka is going with the team, but I can't see Puka's injury. I can't see him getting on a flight for 18 or 14 hours, whatever it is, to London. It's probably less from the East Coast. So say an 8-hour flight to 10-hour flight to London, and that ankle not swelling up. Then he's not going to have much time when they get there to rehab it. Adams has been a borderline low end one, high end two wide receiver, correct?
Correct, and
Yes.
that's what I wanted to talk about because I'm looking at it right now. You were talking about Whittington. My argument against that is, Devontae Adams just got 9 targets in 1 week, right as Puka went down. To me, that's more lenient towards a number one receiver. Plus, with the experience, with potential of, like you said, Puka not even traveling. They're not just gonna want to rely on someone that hasn't proven anything. They're going to London. They just want to get this game in and out of with and come back home. Is my thoughts.
I don't think he's going to be the wide receiver. I think Devontae's going to be the wide receiver one.
Correct.
But Whittington just played his, I think, 48% snap share. Last week when Puka went out, he had his most amount of targets in a game. Yes, it was only 4, but he went 4 for 3 for 23 yards. And with a whole week as a wide receiver 2, I mean, Tutu didn't play last week. If Tutu's somehow out again with Puka as well, Whittington's the wide receiver
Oh,
2. And
wait a minute.
what do we hear
We
about
have
Puka?
breaking news.
Oh, a trade has been made.
Trade has been made. Gibbs has been sent for Hall and Worthy. Ian, talk about this. It's your trade.
Wow.
All right. So, I am very, very deep at running back already. But my biggest issue has been wide receiver. I think Worthy will fit right in. I think Brees Hall's on his way up. There's talks that he's going to potentially be traded. I think that it's not a huge step down from what you actually look at what Gibbs actually does performance-wise, because he's splitting the load because there's so many mouths to feed there. Gibbs's average is about the same thing that Brees Hall averages. And then on top of that, I'm getting my depth at wide receiver that I desperately need. So to me, I am giving up a little bit of value having Gibbs. You got to kind of also just look at what he's going to have down the road. Towards the end of the season, in my opinion, they're going to be planning for playoffs, which typically to me, they'll start running, their starters, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. They'll start running them a little bit less, which means you're going to probably see a drop off towards the end of the fantasy season. Mix that with what he's already getting. I thought it was just time for me to sell high, is my opinion.
I do like the trade. And so I've been trying to get Hall from Dylan. And because I wanted another running back. It's nice to see a trade break while we're recording this, but that's nice to see. So back to, well, you know what? I do want to look at something real quick because I faced Dylan this week.
Dylan is in desperation mode at this moment in time.
No,
So-
you are in desperation mode at this time.
Well, I do agree with that. I am as well, but so is he.
Well,
But it's
he's
kind
got
of this is the week where I think we're going to start seeing the scales tip.
yeah. I mean,
This is a very important week.
he's not going to have Puka this week, and he's got him in his starting lineup. He's going to need Pearsall to come back. He's going to be active tonight on waivers. He's got to be. Anyways, beyond that,
I'm going to hit
So
on that trade,
Whittington-
actually.
make a comment on it.
I don't like
Yeah,
it for
let's
you,
do it.
Ian.
Let's hear it.
Only due to the fact that Xavier Worthy, you're buying him on a dip. He's playing with a shoulder injury. Rice is coming back this weekend, so therefore he's now going to move to the wide receiver 2, which, yes, it'll get the wide receiver or the cornerback 1 off of him, but I don't know how much that injury is affecting him, considering he hasn't seen over 77% snap share since his return. and Brees Hall. I don't get me wrong. I do like that Brees Hall trade, but you're kind of banking on him not to get traded with his remaining schedule. Because if he gets traded to, let's say, the Chiefs, now he's in a crowded backfield. Let's say he gets traded to, I don't know who else need the Chargers. I mean, I would like that, but their offensive line is also really bad. So I just feel like Gibbs is the number one asset, and with what you need, I feel like giving up the number one player in the trade is not
So,
the
so let me
best.
counter that. With that being said, we just talked about how Patrick Mahomes is an elite asset and how he's doing so well. How is he going to do so well with throwing to one receiver and Rashi Rice? I understand he's going to get peppered with targets, but with how bad their running game has been, with how bad Travis Kelsey has been, Xavier Worthy's going nowhere. He's here to stay. And all I really am looking for out of Worthy is a depth piece, a wide receiver two piece. I'm still Cortland Sutton had a down week, but if you look at his overall stats, the dude's putting up solid games every week. He's really my wide receiver one
Yeah.
that I don't, you know. So and I have the depth at running back with Judkins and Genty. So just pairing Brees Hall as my running back three, throwing him in my flex is kind of a flex to me, you know.
Why not go for a different receiver
Uh,
in that trade, but with Hall? Because I like the Hall trade. I just, and like I said, I was trying to get him.
I did.
Why not? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was gonna say I did try going for a different receiver. I
Okay.
tried going for numerous receivers. This week I was trying to trade. I've been trying to trade Josh Allen. So I originally was going after Justin Jefferson, but as we mentioned, Dylan is needing some help at the moment. So I think that's why he was a little reluctant on getting rid of arguably his best player. But that being said, I think either way it's a win for me. I went with Worthy specifically because, as we talked about, I like pairing my wide receivers with quarterbacks that I know are doing well. Quarterbacks that I know are going to get them the ball. I said the same thing about Keon Coleman. You know, Worthy may be the wide receiver two on his team, but you know he's a wide receiver two in fantasy football still, and I think he will continue to be because his quarterback.
No, I like that you got two players for him. I do. I just he Rice coming back. It's not the fact that he's not going to get his targets. I just think Rice is going to dominate, and that it may help Worthy.
Yeah.
We don't know. You needed to make a move because you didn't have any depth, so I like it. Okay. Your second player, Landon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My second player, I just had it. My second player. I hate doing this. My second player would honestly be Josh Downs. The emergence of Josh Downs is here. Yes, I know they spread the ball around, and Josh Downs is still. I don't think he's yet at the two wide receiver sets, which I don't like, and I don't understand why. But Pittman finally had a down week, and in result of that, it was Tyler Warren who's been consistent all season, but also Josh Downs.
Josh Downs. I think the last the last 3 games, he's averaged 6+ targets.
2 games, yeah.
Games. So 6+ targets. That's you want to see consistency. Waiver guys are they're on waivers for a reason. They get an opportunity. They have to do something. You take advantage of it. Do what you can with it. So I like those 2 receivers. It's funny. It's three receivers out of the 3 people we've talked about. Go with your last one, Ian.
All right, well, let's just go ahead and make it a 4th. Why don't we? I think part of the reason that Josh Downs so well is because you got someone stretching the field in Alec Pierce. Being that I need a wide receiver, being that I'm in kind of desperation mode for that flex, the cool thing about Pierce is he's that boomer bust play, kind of like Jeremy Maclin back in the day, where he would just take off for 1,000,000 points or he'll have nothing because Pierce is the guy that's going down the field. So it's he's more of a gamble in my opinion. But sometimes you got to take that gamble depending on situations.
Okay. Since you guys didn't mention them, I'm going to just throw some people out there. I'm surprised no one mentioned the Tampa Bay receivers. I'm surprised no one mentioned any running backs, no tight ends. We've talked about the fact that quarterback is getting kind of thin on waivers. It's clearly going to be matchup based. But defenses, I think defenses. You've got Kansas City versus the Raiders this weekend. I think Kansas City is a good streamer. You've got, I didn't realize this. Atlanta is the number one defense right now. I'm sorry if I'm talking about players you guys didn't want me to mention, but this is why we're doing these videos, is to give information.
Yeah, but you said only name two, so we went with two players.
No, but I'm not going to mention everybody.
You just mentioned everybody.
No, I didn't mention names. So if someone is going to wake up and watch this, or stay awake and watch this 40 minutes in at 8 o'clock at night, chances are very slim. I think they'll watch it tomorrow morning. But this is what we're doing. The defenses, I think there are some good streaming defenses. I went last week and picked up New England because of matchups coming up. Landon wanted them. Landon wanted Tucker Kraft last week. So there are. What was that?
I said I feel like so many of these guys were on my team at one point, and I was just a tad too early on them.
And I've told Landon this. My problem is patience.
Mm-hmm.
I sent Dylan a trade today, and then I go to do my waivers, and it says, sorry, but this player, because I was sending him in one trade, the trades worked out that I had to drop someone. And it said, sorry, but one of your player is in a transaction. You can't do it. I hate that. I don't care it's like an illegal man downfield. Okay? If they want to run downfield, let them freaking run downfield. That's a stupid rule, just like I should be able to send a trade offer with a dropped player. If it gets accepted, obviously I'm going to want that player over the waiver player. But I don't know. It frustrated me. So I had to cancel my trades to Dylan, and Dylan texted me back at me and goes, "You're so impatient." Because I sent it to him, and like 20 minutes later, I rescinded the trade offer because of the fact that I couldn't do a waiver claim. Is that the right word?
Revoked.
There's a video. Just gonna send it. Landon.
So here we go. Injuries. Last week, well, this whole season, I was listening to a podcast today, and one of the guys, Landon will probably get this, but one of the guys said, if you have a name with Uka, you got injured this weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
So Puka got injured, and Igbuka got injured, and it's like it pissed me off when, or as Gronk said, Big Boo, or is that what he called him?
What?
You lost me. You lost me.
You guys didn't see the video of Gronk trying to say Igbuka? I can now I've messed up on his name.
This slowly turned into a racist podcast.
No, it didn't. Listen to Gronk. He tried to say
No, you broke rule number 1. You listen to Gronk.
Yeah, I know. I know. But you got those two injuries. Name another injury that you guys saw this weekend that we're concerned with.
Oh, Garrett Wilson. Oh, that one killed me as well. He's leading the AFC in receiving yards and then decides to go out against Patrick Surtain and destroy his knee. So now I got to deal with the weekly new one of whether or not he's going to play. And right now he is doubtful. So that's great. With a bye in 2 weeks.
So wide receiver out of Ohio
That's not going to go over very well for me.
Big Boo going for over 100 yards.
Big Boo.
That's you guys got to see it.
That's what Gronk just called him.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah.
He says it all jacked up too. But he explained it because he had a teammate in high school with that last name. standings. So the standings that we have, we kind of went over it. League, we've got Rob. Well, actually, we got Landon at the number 1 overall seed, and in his division, he's got a 2-game lead over Ian, and then Ian's got a 2-game lead over me, and then I've got a 2-game matchup. Well, it could be 1 if you go 2-0 one week. It's 10-2, 8-4, 6-6, and then Nate and Jason at 4-8. Then Division 1, Rob at 10-2, Oscar at 7-5. Rob's getting close to wrapping that thing up. Let's see when he starts having some buys, though, because his depth is real thin. We've talked about this. We've talked about it a lot. His depth is thin. If he starts having buys, he's going to lose some key players. And then at 3rd place, Dylan and Mark are tied for 3rd at 5-7, and then Sean in last place at 1-11. Anything that you guys want to mention, that you want to discuss about the league, the setup of the standings right now? Who are you interested in the next couple weeks?
I would love to see Nate in a thong and bra while drinking beers at a bar. Just saying. So let's get to whooping that ass.
Well, we know if Jason finishes last, he's not going to do it because he's going to be worried about getting arrested because he's a teacher, and then he'd be put on Megan's list. Sean probably lose custody of his kids.
Now.
What?
I said it's acceptable now.
Exactly. You can't tell me who I am and what I wear. And
Want my balls to drag on the floor? They're going to drag on the floor.
Mark, he could wear that outfit to work and would fit in with some of his coworkers, quote unquote coworkers. I really enjoy this chat, this league. The group is fun. Wish Rob and Jason were a little more talkative. Dylan, he's getting ready to go to Hawaii tomorrow, so maybe we can send him a drunk. What?
He doesn't ever talk in the chat either.
He just sends the threesome emoji.
Exactly. He just looks in, sees a talk about a trade, and sends a threesome emoji trying to get someone riled up in their bra and panties. So it's been a fun year.
Right now it's Sean.
So anything you guys want to mention?
Go accept my trades.
I don't have any.
I also don't have any.
You guys want to accept them?
Hey, honestly, Dylan's team is very, very good now.
I was looking at a couple of teams. Dylan being one of them. If he can squeak by this week, if he can squeak by next week, get through this Puka injury ordeal, get some Purdy back, that could be a team to be messed with.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, okay, if Puka misses time, say Evans, because Evans, again, they have a bye in 2 weeks. And do you want to bring Evans back? What if he re-aggravates that hamstring?
Well, by then, hopefully he has Pearsall back, who was leading the league in receiving before getting hurt. Was it receiving or was it receptions? I think it was receiving.
I think it was receiving.
Yeah.
But Fields and Tua, you can't trust them.
Nope. You need a new quarterback, buddy.
I've tried sending him an offer, but he texted me. He goes, I should go accept your offer. I guess what it did is it dropped off Breece Hall and let's see.
You had to drop somebody.
Team transaction.
You dirty dog.
Yeah, so it dropped off Breece Hall, but it kept all my players.
Hey, are we live streaming this to everybody?
Yeah.
So you sent the link to the group chat?
No.
He sends the video app. He's got a channel that this live stream's on, but he sends a link to the recording.
If they wanted to watch it while we stream, they could.
I was gonna say you should send the live stream to everybody so that way they can text in the group chat if they can't join.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll do that next time.
Yeah, that'll work. That'd be cool. Okay.
All right, y'all.
Hey, also accept my trades.
Have a good night, guys.